Hi students, welcome to this session on stability of LTI discrete time system. D indicates discrete time system. Right. We have already known that any discrete time system is stable if bounded input, for example, bounded input x of n, when it is bounded, it should be having some finite value. It should not be infinite. Bounded input produces bounded output. Y of n is output. The magnitude should be some finite number, it should not be infinite. This is what bounded input, this is what bounded output. If bounded input produces bounded output, then the system is known as stable system, right? Any discrete time system. Okay, so this is what bounded input, that means input which is not touching infinity, it is less than infinity. That means finite input. The finite input should produce finite. It is not infinity because it is less than infinity, means it is finite only, not infinite. Okay, so this is the condition for stable system. But we have to see stability of LTA system. Right? When LTA system is stable, we know that for any LTA system, output is summation k goes to minus infinity to plus infinity x of k h of n minus k. As per the commutative property of convolution, I can write k goes to minus infinity to plus infinity h of k x of n minus k. Right? So you take this one, you find the magnitude, bounded output. I want mod y of n. When the output is bounded, that is given by this one, you take this, you neglect. So mod k goes to minus infinity to plus infinity x of k h of n minus k. Right? So it is magnitude of summation. Right? Magnitude of summation is less than or equal to summation of magnitude. That is mathematical concept. So it is equal to summation of magnitude h of k, that I split into 2 part x of n minus k. Right? What is our condition? Bounded input should produce bounded output. So we assume that the output is bounded. So y of n should be less than. This should be bounded input only I have to give. So this is bounded. So let us assume that bounded value is some m of x. Right? So bounded input. How can I check whether a system is stable? I apply bounded input. I assume that bounded output. When this equation is possible, let us see minus infinity to plus infinity mod h of k. This is bounded. I assume that this is bounded input. This is bounded output. That means this is finite. This is finite. I want this one to be finite. When this one will be finite? Only when this is bounded or finite. Yes or no? Only this finite value gets multiplied by another finite value, then only I can, this y of n is less than or equal to finite value. If this is infinity, what will happen? The value will become infinity, so the output will not be bounded. So for a system to be bounded, that is output n, y of n, then only output is bounded means the system is bounded. For LTI-D system to be bounded, to be stable, right? Then what happens? The condition is k goes to minus infinity to plus infinity. H of k should be absolutely summable. This I can write as k goes to minus infinity to plus infinity. Instead of k, I write some n. So n goes to minus infinity to plus infinity. So this is the condition. What is the meaning of this equation? H of n is impulse response. This means for LTI system to be stable, the impulse response must be absolutely summable. Right? So absolutely summable means you must be able to find the sum. It should not be infinity. That means it must be less than infinity. Yes or no? If it is infinite, what will happen? If the summation is infinity, then finite multiplied by infinite, y of n will become infinite, that is bounded input will produce unbounded output. Because we know input is bounded, if it is infinity, the answer is infinity, it is unbounded output. So this summation should be this should be absolutely summable, right? So the condition for stability is the impulse response must be absolutely summable. Absolutely summable means we must be able to sum it up. That's it. Sum up the impulse response. If you sum, you should get finite answer. If it should not become infinity, then only we can say it is a absolutely summable impulse response. This is absolute value. Yes, an absolute value or a magnitude. So summable. This is what summable. This is the condition for Ltid system to be stable. Right? I hope you understand this concept. If you have any doubt, please ask me in comment section. Thank you.